What's up, Kellen?
How's it going, guys?
What are your big picture takeaways from the first game?
Yeah, obviously, I thought resiliency showed up. Certainly some production and plenty of things to clean up. That's a week one game. Obviously, those ultimately, you got to find a way to perform well enough to come out with victories. I think those are huge in early games. And, I think our guys saw the growth opportunities that we had. They were excited about that as far as where we can take this thing. And so it's a matter of continuing to build throughout the season. And so, good first step.
How do you address the bad snaps?
Yeah, snaps, I think it's just an operational thing, I think, for all of us to grow through. There's a lot of things that go with that, from a snap to the cadence to the communication. There's a lot of things that go on pre-snap, and just, tightening that aspect of it up for all of us. How can we clean it up as much as we can? But, I feel optimistic moving forward.
What are the review from the two interceptions?
Yeah, I think, 2 3rd and longs, from a play calling standpoint, I'm always going to view it from a play calling standpoint, aggressive calls at times. And, I think those are opportunities for us just to grow from, learn from, one being backed up and one being in the red zone. And so, obviously critical situations. Fortunately for us, we were able to come out of it and grow from those, but also, avoid obviously the big time negatives. But
in-game points to Jalen in those moments. What are the coaching points? I mean, they look like late throws, but what do you tell them?
Yeah, sometimes with those, we call a particular play that has some opportunity to earn the first down, and at the same time, there is some situations where, hey, any completion's good, and we'll make the decision as far as 4th down, whether it's a kicking opportunity or a go for it opportunity. And so those situations, and sometimes those we play out differently, and so just communicating through how we want to handle those circumstances, whether it be the backed up or the red zone one. I think we all get to grow from our communication, and so I think they're good growth opportunities for us.
All throughout camp, of course, like not throwing an interception for almost the entirety of it, and then you had a few questionable decisions in the game. What do you attribute that to?
Yeah, I think sometimes just the first game, and we had 2 3rd and extra long opportunities where you practice some of those during training camp, and I think we got a little aggressive. Myself play calling also ultimately just the throw, but. Not overly concerned. To me, they're outliers in many cases. I think as we all have seen Jalen in those circumstances, so we feel optimistic we'll be just fine moving forward, and we'll be able to adjust.
Any of the footing issues affect you in game? Did you have to change at all, do you think?
From a play calling standpoint?
Yeah, from just play call.
Not for me standing there.
Yeah.
I think there was awareness to it. I think obviously everyone understood that there was some element of slipping on both sides of it, and so there was a little bit of awareness to it. Whether a couple opportunities, hey, can we take advantage of an element of, hey, if a guy slips here, we got a potential play here. But obviously there was some awareness. But I think both sides were playing in the same circumstance. I don't think it drastically leaned one way or the other.
What stood out against the blitz?
I think our guys did a nice job just communicating, being on the same page. I thought Jalen did a nice job. He felt comfortable back there with the plan. I thought the big 3rd down was a big play when he threw the ball to AJ, and it was 2 yards short. And understanding, hey, AJ is going to be able to get us the last 2, if not more. Good communication with the protections for all of our guys, and so I think there was some really good growth opportunities for us to continue to build on there.
What do you attribute the
first time you got to see the Mackay-Cam partnership in a extended game action? I guess what stood out about that pairing?
I thought in general up front, I thought we did an excellent job. We were firm in the pass protection, run game. Obviously, there were some really exciting highlights, with those guys coming off the ball, getting to second level, combination blocks, a lot of things to grow from, a lot of optimism with that group. I thought Mackay did an excellent job. I mean, one element is like he's part of the cadence as well, and so he's having to play guard for the first time. He's also part of the cadence because he's really our indicator from the quarterback to the center, and so he had heavy responsibility with that, and so he did an excellent job.
What do you attribute Saquon using him in the game plan for the first time?
Saquon?
What did you feel that was effective about him using him in the game plan for the first time?
Obviously, I think Saquon's a premier player. He did an excellent job. His versatility and ability to play in a number of different ways. Obviously, you saw the pass game come up with 2 catches. You saw the run game. Obviously, he thought he was downhill in some of our inside zones. He did an excellent job, and he's a guy who, once he gets out in space, obviously he can make some really big-time plays. And so, we're excited. He's done an excellent job, and we'll be able to diversify it as we go. Week in and week out, everything, we can adjust the game plans and we'll play different styles depending on how the opponent wants to play us. And so, he'll provide us with that opportunity.
Do you attribute the disparity with Jalen with motion versus no motion?
Yeah, obviously motion's an aspect that certainly we want to utilize as much as we can. By game plan, it's going to be different. There's certain schemes that it may give us an advantage. Sometimes it may be more window dressing, and we'll see how much we emphasize it. But I think again, we want to try and present the defense and stress their pre-snap communication, whether it be tempo, whether it be cadence, whether it be the motion aspect of it. I think every game plan is going to have a little different flavor, and so I thought he did an excellent job. I think he saw it well. He saw the adjustment the defense was making, and he was able to find a bunch of completions off of it.
Kellen, you talked about the fumbles generally, but the second one by the goal line, what happened on that one specifically?
Yeah, just an element of slipping there, and so I think missed opportunity. Obviously, we would have loved. I think all of our guys were a little bit bummed just with that opportunity to kind of take that touchdown and kind of solidify the thing. Didn't happen for us, ultimately. Credit Saquon being aware there, because really his responsibility is he's ready to push, and he had the awareness to quickly protect the ball there, and he made a critical recovery there. And so, not overly concerned based off circumstance of that game. I think we still got some great opportunities with the QB sneak element, and keeping that as part of that package as we go.
Kellen, how unusual is it to have a rookie late round pick like Johnny Wilson, who's so developed in the blocking game?
Yeah, Johnny did an awesome job, fired up. There's a bunch of highlight blocks in there, and so he took advantage of his 10 or so snaps. He's got a role for us. Obviously, it'll evolve as we go, week in and week out. From a run game perspective, for the pass game, he'll come alive as we go, and we're really, really excited about him.
Devontae played more in the slot than he typically has here in the past. We kind of thought that might happen based on what we saw in the summer, but what are the traits that you identified that he has that you wanted to put him inside there?
Yeah, I think he just does an excellent job. He's got great spatial awareness, great feel for the game. I think when you play inside as a receiver, there's a lot more variables. There's a nickel on top of you, but there's a safety, there's backers. You got to have the awareness to kind of see, have great spatial awareness to kind of recognize all those aspects and see how those moving pieces change the picture for you. And so I think he did an excellent job finding space and zone a couple times. He had the critical 4th and 3 big time play where he kind of saw one defender outside of him, one defender inside him. He tight turned it, hooked it up. Jalen saw him. Like, those are big time plays. Those aren't easy to see that spatially in that quick instant. He'll continue to play outside in different roles in different situations, and we'll move those guys around. AJ will be in there some, and so that's the beauty of what we have at the receiver group is those guys can play all over the field.
Now that everyone is kind of
Yeah, I think he did an excellent job hopping in there, based off the tight circumstance in which he got here. He did a really, really good job. I thought he had a great understanding of what was being asked of him and the offense. He was able to play out there in some of the no-huddle situations, which isn't easy when you come in. We're really excited about him. We'll keep building it.
now that everyone has kind of seen your offense and how you use like Saquon and other guys, like how important is it to diversify, different parts of the game plan as you guys go forward?
Yeah, just 1 week, obviously, so that there'll be certain trends and tells associated with 1 week of a game. We obviously know that, and the fun aspect of this thing is every week's kind of its own season. There's a different game plan associated with it. Hopefully, it looks different, and it kind of can buck some of the trends that happened the week before, and also create some new opportunities for some other guys. And so that'll be the exciting part.
In the summer, you talked about creating tendencies to break them in big moments. Is that when you actually break those tendencies, is it data-driven or is it all just based on feel?
No, obviously there's a huge data aspect of this thing, just understanding who you are. Obviously we study the film aspect of it, but there's a numbers aspect of it as well, because obviously, play callers are going to call things based off the numbers, and those are usually high indicators of you got to trust the numbers in some circumstances. And so we got to be aware of those numbers. If you're really good at something, there's going to be tendencies that happens. You just got to have awareness of it and understand that at some point you're going to have to make adjustments according to that.
What was your view of the tush-push for when you were on the other side, and are there things you would like to introduce there that maybe we haven't seen yet?
No, obviously it's an excellent play. It's a very important play for us, and we'll continue to utilize it. It's certainly a part of this thing. The circumstances on Friday had some unique aspects of it, just with the footing and whatnot. But it'll still be a part of our deal. And obviously, we know there's other plays associated with that. But it's a premier play, and we feel really comfortable with it.
Falcons made some late summer additions. The Falcons did. Judon, Simmons, Grady Jarrett's back. What are some challenges that the defense for the Falcons presents?
Yeah, watching them on film, I think they do a really excellent job. I think, the front, putting him on the edge, a premier player, and then to have two safeties of that caliber of, just a great feel for the game, great understanding, and they kind of can tie everything together. I think, it's a veteran group, a really experienced group. They did a nice job of kind of containing Pittsburgh in some ways on Sunday, and so it'll be a challenge, and early in the season, Jimmy Lake being the defense coordinator, it'll look different than their week one, just like we'll make our adjustments, especially early on in the season, the first few games of the year. You're going to see a lot of unscattered looks. You're going to see a lot of things that you haven't seen on film. You got to be prepared to handle that, and trust your rules and trust your training that you've invested all of offseason on.
You answered my question. Thank you.
Okay. Awesome. Thanks, guys.
Thank you.